G'day everyone, it's Luke Mead here. Today in this video, I'm going to be going over 7 tips for Squarespace SEO for beginners and how you can rank #1 on Google using Squarespace SEO. I want to preface that this video is for beginners and this is the bare essentials of SEO, and once you master this, it's all uphill and gets better and more fun and you rank more. Let's get straight into it, guys. So I want to start off this video by saying and showing you some results. This is what we're going to be looking at today. I'm ranking #1 for this search term here, and I'm going to show you what I do to get that #1 ranking. Now, I'm in the Squarespace editor, and the first thing you want to decide with SEO is you want to decide what your keyword is. This is a really basic thing, but you really need to write it down and stick with it. You can't be swapping and changing. In this case, my target keyword is Facebook ads for construction companies, and I've decided that and I'm making a significant effort to target that keyword. Now, this is a bit of a no-brainer, but the first tip is obviously having your title tag set as that keyword or a variation of that keyword. In my instance, I've got my title set as that, and then I've also added on a few sub keywords like contractors and home builders at the end to get extra search traffic. Number 2 is your URL. You want to make sure your URL isn't too long or isn't too specific, but gives a general breakdown of what your video or what your page is about. So in this case, you can see I've included Facebook ads, construction companies, contractors, home builders. So I've given a fairly good overview of what this is. Notice that I haven't included words like for or and in there. You don't need those. Keep it to the strong keywords you want in your URL. Number 4, your meta title and your description. This is arguably one of the most important ones. To access that in Squarespace, head to your page settings and head to the SEO tab. Now, we're looking in this section here, and you can see that we've got the SEO title and we've got the SEO description. In this case, we want to make sure that the keyword is in the title, not too specifically, but we've just got it in there somewhere. In this case, I've got it as how to set up Facebook ads for construction companies, followed by my business name, which you can see here as it's being clipped a little bit. And then in the description, you want to make sure you've got a variation of your SEO title and at least your SEO title in there. You can see that in my case, I've got Facebook ads in here, construction companies. So I'm pretty happy with how that's playing out. I don't really feel the need to repeat myself too much because you don't want to come across as spammy to Google. So it's important that you just be natural with your SEO. Tip number 5, image names and image alt tags. Image names help Google classify your images, so if people actually search for Facebook ads for construction, your images come up in here, and this contributes to your overall SEO, and you can see that my image is coming up in here, which is good. Now, you can set that by going to the editor, clicking on your image, going to edit, and scrolling to the bottom and seeing file name option. And you can see in this case that I've included my target keyword exactly in there, which is really, really good. And on that note, you want to make sure that your thumbnail for these blog pages or pages, your featured images, also have that set as well. You want to make sure your title is set in there to be your target keyword. Number 6, you need to be using links in your pages for SEO. Google's a search engine and it wants to share every content and it wants to move people around, and that's its overall goal, is to keep people using their content and using Google. And Google doesn't want to drive people to pages where there's no links out to other pages. So in this case, you're going to be using links to other places, whether it's your own blog articles, YouTube videos, other articles that you've written or other people's articles. The better you can include more links, the better. That made no sense. The more links you can include, the better, because that shows Google that you're actually writing content and you want to share it with everyone. So that's really powerful. Tip number 7, and my last tip, is use headings. This is a bit of a complicated tip, but Google likes to have headings to help classify the content. And headings are classified under H1 tags all the way through to H6 and 7. And essentially they're a hierarchy of importance. So your H1 tag is always your title, and you should only ever have one H1 tag on your page because this tells Google what this page is about. And then underneath that, you want to start breaking down your content into H2, 3, 4 tags to help classify your content and help Google understand it better. So in this case here, I've used H1 for my title, and we can see that these are H2 as my subtitles. So, and you can see that in there. So these H2 title tags are little subtopics within my article and helps show Google that I know what I'm saying, because my keyword up the top here, Facebook ad for construction companies, and then there's subtitles within here, like why use Facebook ads, which relate back to the top one and help add authority to the article. So if you use titles wisely, you can really show Google that you're an authority in your space, and that's going to boost your SEO. They aren't just for aesthetics titles, they're a real purpose, and if you use them, you'll see the effects. So guys, those are 7 quick tips on how to rank better in SEO in Squarespace. For beginners, like I said, that is the bare essentials. If you do that, there is a good chance you're going to start ranking on the #1 page. As you can see, I'm ranking #1 for that keyword, which is really, really good using those techniques. And I recommend that you apply these techniques to every single bit of content you have out there. I hope you guys learned something from this video. Thank you so much for your time today. Keep well and have a great day. I'll see you all soon. Ciao, ciao.